Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Steph McGovern and Naga Munchetty.
It's 8:01, our headlines today. It's Friday the 31st of August. Thanks very much for joining us. Our top story. There's a warning that the care system in England is at breaking point as a new study predicts that more than 1 million over 65s will need round-the-clock care in the next 20 years.
The authors of the report in The Lancet warn that relying on informal carers, such as family members, is not a long-term solution. Here's more from our social affairs correspondent Alison Holt.
Police have arrested a man in connection with the fatal stabbing of 2 women in Solihull.
Raneem Uday and her mother, Kola Salim, were attacked on Bank Holiday Monday. A 21-year-old man was detained in the Spark Hill area of Birmingham, as Tom Burridge reports.
The former Labour MP, Frank Field, has told BBC Breakfast that he will consider resigning his seat in order to trigger a by-election in his constituency.
This after he resigned from the parliamentary party yesterday. Then he cited the leadership's stance on anti-Semitism. One ally of Jeremy Corbyn accused Mr Field of making grotesque slurs. Well, let's get more from our politics. Thanks for analysing all of that for us. We'll speak to you soon, no doubt.
Just going up to 9 minutes past 8. The DIY retailer Homebase faces a showdown with landlords today. It's in a make-or-break day that could decide its future. See you later.
11 minutes past 8 is the time. There's a new treatment which could help thousands of people with severe asthma to be offered more widely on the NHS. Time now is 12 minutes past 8. Nick will have the weather for us in about 4 or 5 minutes. And, of course, Mike will update us with the sports in around 15.
Now, 5 weeks ago, Jack Shepherd found guilty of killing 24-year-old Charlotte Brown, who died after a speedboat crash on the River Thames.
Shepherd is on the run and was tried in his absence. Despite that, it was announced yesterday that he is appealing against his 6-year prison sentence. Well, Charlotte's sister. 18 minutes past 8 is the time. Let's get an update on what's happening with the weather and the weekend weather as well. Nick's in centre.
Very much. We'll see you a bit later.
They'll have names next, won't they? 22 minutes past 8 is the time. Forget the down on one knee at Eiffel Tower in front of the Trevi Fountain. This marriage proposal that we're going to tell you about was utterly...
Now, they have been switching on the illuminations in Blackpool since 1879. And, you know, you say, hey, it's like Blackpool illuminations in here, don't you? It's such a phrase that's so commonly used. And that is where Tim Muffet is for us this morning, because they're going to be...
Hello, welcome back. You're watching Breakfast with Steph McGovern and Naga Munchetty.
It's 8:30. The number of over 65s needing round-the-clock care will increase by more than 1/3 in England over the next 20 years. That's according to a new study.
The authors... The former Labour MP, Frank Field, has told BBC Breakfast that he will consider resigning his seat in order to trigger a by-election in his constituency. It's not easy dancing in front of public.
No. Chris Mason tried it earlier on, our political correspondent, and it was a shambles. But, you know, good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about some news that's happened this morning. The UK's biggest coffee chain, Costa, is to be sold to Coca-Cola in a £3.9 billion deal. Now, Costa Coffee... We've been talking about this rather bizarre DIY job that's happened in space. There was a leak on the space station. So picture this. It's 250 miles above the Earth. It travels at a speed of 5 miles a second. You'd think you need to be pretty quick thinking when something like this happens, yeah?
He's not the first sports star to switch. Ian Botham, of course, legendary cricketer, also played football for Scunthorpe Town. Sarah Story switched from swimming to cycling. It can be done.
Yeah.
And he's near next man new coach, isn't he?
Sorry, yes, he is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks,
One step closer. Thanks, Mike. Alexis French has been described as one of Britain's most gifted modern composers and pianists. His love of classical music, alongside R&B and hip-hop, means that he creates a sound all of his own.
Yeah, in a minute we're going to have a chat to him about his album. But first, let's have a little look and listen.
Take care.
Hey, I've loved his slug updates as well, and the romance blossoming amongst the greenery there.
I bet he's named them secretly as well. It's 5 to 9. We're talking about social media. It's played a part in most people's lives for around a decade. And in that time, it's had a huge impact too.
Fly.
That's not going to start a row, is it? I'm good, Anya.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good luck. We're going to hand over to Tim Muffet, where he's in Blackpool, looking at the illuminations which are being switched on.
The lights on the tower Good luck to her. I know she can do it, but that
she can.
pressure, I don't know if I could cope with it.
Time now is 6 minutes past 8.
Which hour is it?
Snate.
Like that hour, yeah.
It's 6 minutes past 9. We're going to talk about parents who obviously always try really, really hard to get their children into a good school and the friction that can come about it and the lengths that they'll go to. All of that is the subject of a new play that we'll talk about.
Yeah, but before that, alas, I can't run, neither of us can speak. Right, we'll put our teeth in. You have a look at the latest headlines where you are.
There's competition and it's fierce for places at the best schools, and some parents are prepared to go to all kinds of lengths to get the education they want for their children.
Yes, of course. This makes the perfect subject for a new play which is about to take to the stage in London, starring Claire Goose, who I'm very pleased to say is with us.
Do your acting thing, not do the presenting
very
thing.
well. I've been told, you know.
No, we'll do it.
Thank you very much. And
Claire,
Thank you.
thank you. Good luck as well. The play, Holy Yes, runs from September the 5th at the Kiln Theatre.
That's it from us today. We'll be back tomorrow from 6, won't we?
We will, yes. Now on BBC One, it's time for Country Files Summer Diaries.